Do you believe it's possible to identify someone who you just know is destined to become incredibly rich and successful one day? Even if they're currently poor, starting from nothing and have no obvious advantages, there's something about them, something intangible, that makes you feel like they're destined to hit the big time. Most people can't spot these traits, and if they could, they'd likely adopt them themselves, right? If you can learn to recognize who has the potential to succeed, you can surround yourself with those individuals, align with their vision, and draw inspiration from their drive and determination. Few stories illustrate this better than entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk's early recognition and mentorship of Grammy Award-winning artist Doja Cat. When Gary first heard her music and watched her homemade videos back in 2021, he immediately sensed something special about her. At the time, she was creating music in her bedroom with no connections to the industry, but Gary saw her raw talent, relentless drive, and unique artistry, qualities that he believed were essential for success. And he was right. This video isn't about pointing fingers or making predictions about who will or won't succeed financially. Instead, it's designed to help you understand the habits, mindset shifts, and subtle behaviors that separate those who build wealth from those who remain stuck. So, let's dive into the key traits that set future millionaires apart. 1. They seldom drink, smoke, or party. People who end up wealthy often have a fundamentally different relationship with pleasure from the start. They don't drink heavily, waste time partying, or rely on smoking or other quick escapes. This isn't because they're boring or overly disciplined for the sake of it, it's because their minds are locked onto something bigger. When you're obsessed with building something meaningful, distractions lose their appeal. Late nights, mindless fun, and anything that dulls your focus start to feel like setbacks. Wealthy individuals aren't opposed to pleasure, they just see it differently. Instead of chasing fleeting highs, they invest their energy in activities that create long-term rewards. In almost every story of self-made millionaires, there's a period of extreme focus where they're working tirelessly while everyone else is out having fun. Wealth builders see themselves as people with something important to do, and this belief changes what they find enjoyable. 2. They talk about money as freedom, not what it can buy. People who become rich don't talk about money the way most people do. They don't obsess over brands, expensive cars, or flashy purchases, at least not until they can truly afford them, and even then, only if their assets can pay for them. When they think about money, they see freedom. They see the ability to walk away from bad deals, say no to time-wasting obligations, and never have to answer to anyone they don't respect. Most people never make this mental shift. Instead, they view money as a way to buy things that impress others. They work harder to afford a certain lifestyle, but the more they earn, the more they spend, which keeps them trapped in a cycle of dependency. Self-made millionaires break free from this mindset early on. They understand that building wealth requires focusing on needing less just as much as wanting to make more. The less you depend on a paycheck, the more power you have. When money becomes a tool to create space and freedom in your life, rather than fill it with distractions, you know your perspective has shifted. That's when you're on the path to getting richer, because you've learned to prioritize freedom and control over material possessions. 3. They're very comfortable with inconvenience and discomfort. Think about this. How much do you spend every month just to make your life more comfortable and convenient? Do you buy expensive sheets because they feel good? Do you use a meal delivery service because it's easier than cooking? Do you drive a car to work because public transportation takes 20 minutes longer and you don't want to walk? It's fine if you choose to spend your money on these things, but you should be aware that this mindset can keep you broke. A broke mindset prioritizes comfort over investing money to make it grow. The need for comfort and convenience compounds over time. The more you rely on it, the harder it becomes to break free. You'll never feel satisfied with what you have even if you tell yourself, after this purchase, life will get easier, and then I'll start saving. Spoiler alert, that rarely happens. Either you get comfortable with inconvenience and discomfort now, or you risk staying broke for the rest of your life. Wealthy individuals understand this and willingly embrace discomfort in the short term to achieve long-term success. 4. They have a blind belief in their ideas and plans. Future millionaires possess an unshakable belief in their ideas and plans, even when others doubt them. This level of conviction can be jarring to witness because, Logically, nothing in life is guaranteed to succeed 100%. Yet, these individuals speak and act as if their success is inevitable. They don't let doubt creep in, and they don't waste time entertaining the possibility of failure. While they're aware that nothing is certain, they understand that focusing on uncertainty won't get them anywhere. Instead, they use belief as a tool to propel themselves forward. Deep down, they may have doubts, but they silence those doubts by fully committing to their vision. This level of commitment is also what attracts others to their cause. People are drawn to confidence and conviction. To achieve this mindset, they essentially lie to themselves, telling themselves that their idea will succeed and that their doubts are irrelevant. Belief isn't about knowing for sure that something will work, it's about knowing that they will make it work no matter what. This unwavering faith in their ability to succeed is a hallmark of future millionaires. 5. A luxury lifestyle just doesn't appeal to them. Many people assume that those who become rich are driven by a desire for luxury, fancy cars, designer clothes, and extravagant lifestyles. But the truth is, the individuals who build wealth from scratch aren't motivated by material possessions. Luxury doesn't appeal to them because their focus is on something far more valuable: control and freedom. They want the ability to wake up when they want, work on projects that excite them, and walk away from situations that no longer serve them. Spending money to show off or impress others never crosses their minds. While others chase symbols of success, like expensive cars or designer labels, future millionaires focus on actual success. They're more interested in building something valuable, solving meaningful problems, and gaining leverage over their own lives. If you want to build wealth, you can't afford to waste time or resources trying to prove your worth through material possessions. That kind of mindset will only slow you down and derail your plans. Building wealth is rarely glamorous or luxurious in the beginning. Those things come much later, if at all. 6. They start lots of small ventures and don't sweat it if they don't work out. Future millionaires are serial experimenters. They're the kind of people who start lots of small ventures, and they don't get discouraged if those ventures fail. Think about those kids in high school who sold secondhand sneakers, started a YouTube channel, or launched a small side hustle, even if everyone laughed at them. Those kids are far more likely to be successful today than the ones who mocked them. Because they started early, took risks, and learned from their mistakes. Starting small and failing repeatedly isn't just about gaining experience. It's about developing a mindset that's unafraid of failure. These individuals think differently. While their peers were chasing popularity or short-term pleasures, they were focused on making money and understanding its power. Even when they didn't need to earn money, because their parents were still supporting them, they chose to hustle anyway. These are the people to watch out for because they're already ahead of the curve. 7. They think in decades, not days. One of the most defining traits of future millionaires is their ability to think long-term. While most people are focused on what's happening today or this week, they're thinking in terms of decades. Their conversations are future-focused. They don't waste time gossiping or dwelling on current events unless it directly impacts their long-term goals. They've mentally mapped out a clear path to the future they want, and they've walked that path in their minds countless times. Can you talk about the next 5 or 10 years as if you've already achieved that level of success? Or are you stuck in the mindset of just reciting a few vague goals without a clear plan? If you're in the latter category, it's time to start thinking bigger. Long-term thinking is what builds wealth, not living day-to-day on autopilot. Future millionaires chop away the distractions and clear a path to their desired future, and they do it with unwavering focus. 8. They prefer creation over consumption. Future millionaires are creators, not consumers. If you spend more than an hour a day on social media, scrolling through content created by others, you're not on the path to wealth. That 1 hour is all you need to create content, promote your business, and engage with your audience. Anything beyond that is wasted time. Consumers don't get rich. They spend their time gobbling up distractions instead of creating value. In today's world, the first step to building wealth is to reduce your screen time and shift from consumption to creation. Whether it's starting a business, writing a book, or developing a new product, future millionaires are always creating something. They understand that wealth is built by adding value to the world, not by passively consuming what others have created. 9. They're obsessed with their work. People who build real wealth don't just work hard, they're obsessed with their work. For them, work isn't something to endure or escape from, it's something that pulls them in and captivates them. Even during their downtime, they're thinking about new ideas, seeking feedback, or making connections that could benefit their goals. This level of focus and dedication never really switches off. In contrast, most people show up to work, do the bare minimum, and count the hours until they can leave. That mindset will never lead to extraordinary success. Future millionaires disappear into their work. Their entire lives revolve around their obsession. Days stretch longer, weekends disappear, and burnout doesn't exist because their energy comes from momentum and mastery. By the time others notice their success, it's already too late to catch up. 10. They pursue financial stability at all costs, before riches. The most successful people in the world rarely start off with the goal of making hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. While a small percentage may begin with grandiose ambitions, often driven by narcissistic tendencies, the majority start with a much simpler goal, achieving financial stability. That's it. They focus on finding jobs or opportunities that pay well and are easily accessible to them. Once they've secured their basic needs, paid bills, a safety net, and some level of financial security, they begin taking calculated risks that most people avoid. Wealth isn't built overnight. It's the result of stacking small, smart moves until a solid foundation is established. Once that foundation is secure, the game changes entirely. Decisions are no longer driven by fear, and energy shifts from mere survival to expansion. From this position, real wealth begins to take shape, not through frantic scrambling, but through steady, unstoppable growth. This consistent, sustainable approach to building wealth is what sets future millionaires apart. For those looking to accelerate this process, tools like the Alex app can act as a personal board of advisors, offering daily coaching sessions and expert-led courses like Money 2011, which focuses on accelerated wealth building through compounding knowledge. By committing to this kind of growth every day, you set yourself up for long-term success. 11. They've always had multiple jobs. If you've never held more than one job at the same time, it's unlikely you'll achieve significant wealth. Having multiple income streams provides a sense of freedom and security that a single paycheck can't offer. While juggling 2 or more full-time jobs still means trading time for money, and thus hitting an earning ceiling, the experience of managing multiple paychecks trains you to think differently about income. It pushes you to find ways to keep money flowing from various sources. The specifics of these jobs don't matter. What matters is the habit of diversifying your income. This mindset ensures that losing a job, facing a pay cut, or hitting a rough patch doesn't derail you. Future millionaires don't panic when one income stream dries up because they've built others to fall back on. Over time, this habit compounds. What starts as a way to earn a little extra cash can evolve into something much larger. But it only happens if you develop the habit of creating and maintaining multiple income streams. 12. They focus 100% on their strengths and ignore their weaknesses. If you want to become a better person, work on your weaknesses. But if you want to become rich and successful, focus entirely on your strengths. Society often promotes the idea of being well-rounded, working on your flaws and turning weaknesses into strengths. However, this approach leads to mediocrity. Future millionaires understand that success comes from doubling down on what you're already good at, not wasting time on areas where you lack aptitude. Your time is far more valuable when spent sharpening your strengths rather than trying to fix your weaknesses. Ignore your weaknesses unless they become a genuine barrier to your success. The world rewards specialists, not generalists. A world-class athlete doesn't waste time trying to become a great accountant, and a billionaire entrepreneur isn't spending hours learning to code if strategy and leadership are their strengths. Success isn't about fixing every flaw. It's about making your strengths so undeniable that your weaknesses become irrelevant. 13. They don't get embarrassed easily. Embarrassment is the price of entry for success. People will laugh at you, often out of jealousy, but it will feel like they're laughing because you've failed. The truth is, they're jealous of your belief in yourself, a belief they may never have. Embarrassment is one of the most effective tools for keeping people stuck. It plays on the fear of being singled out, looking foolish, or standing out for the wrong reasons. If you want to succeed, you must push through this fear. No one achieves anything significant without looking stupid first. Every master was once a beginner, and every expert had a phase where they got things completely wrong. The sooner you learn to ignore other people's opinions, the faster you'll reach your goals. Embrace embarrassment as a sign that you're moving forward, not standing still. 14. Every thought is followed up with immediate action. Ideas are meaningless without action. Future millionaires understand this and act on their thoughts immediately. Whether it's responding to a message right away, booking an appointment the moment it comes to mind, or following up on an idea as soon as it pops into their head, they don't delay. The quicker you let go of the need to do something perfectly or at the perfect time, the easier it becomes to take action. Every time you act immediately, you rewire your brain. Instead of associating new ideas with delay, doubt, or procrastination, you start associating them with momentum. This habit of taking action compounds over time, and before you know it, big things start happening. Not because you waited for the perfect moment, but because you took the first step before hesitation could stop you. 15. They fear being stuck far more than failing. For most people, the fear of failure is what holds them back from taking risks or putting themselves in uncomfortable situations. But for future millionaires, the real nightmare is stagnation, being stuck in the same place year after year with no progress, no growth, and no escape. They understand that every mistake can be corrected, every failure can be recovered from, but lost time is gone forever. This is why they take risks that others avoid. Even if they fail, they're still moving forward, still learning, and still growing. For them, the fear of being stuck is far worse than the fear of failing. This mindset drives them to keep pushing, keep experimenting, and keep striving for more, no matter the obstacles.